Planner besties and busy bees, happy National Planner Day. This is the first year since I started this channel that I decided I'd like to participate. And just like everyone else, it is time for that mid-year planner review as we begin to look at offerings from all of our favorite companies to figure out what it is that we want to do in 2027. Also, as a academic and as a program chair, my new year begins in just 3 weeks. So these decisions have a lot of consequence for me because my new year starts today. Okay, so there's a lot to go over, but I am setting myself a challenge. I plan to go over everything in these stacks in less than a half hour. If anything is neglected or missing, or if I can't really turn every single page of every single section, please forgive me. Let me know in the comments below what you might want to see more detail on, and we'll get into it. Okay, so we're going to begin with an overview of what's on the desk. To my left is my faith planner and journal. That is in an A5 travel notebook. I have two in here. We'll get into that. I actually am using three A5s. I have a creative journal. It has switched from a large or a big happy planner to this A5 travel notebook that I'm so pleased to be able to keep writing notes and things that are very dear to me here. And I've decked it out with some of the travel notebook charms. I'm really excited to go over that, as well as a special pen. I did score a Coach Cherry notebook. I'm so excited about it because the Coach girls will sell out notebook covers so fast. The price point of LV and cloth and paper means that their leather covers do not sell out nearly as fast as a Coach notebook cover, which is priced generally somewhere between $40 and $90. So it's less than $100. People will indulge, and sadly, resellers will put this all on the platforms, and you won't be able to get them at full price or retail price. And fortunately, I did at Coach Outlet. So I'll talk more about this. I have an A5 notebook planner in here. My workhorse is going to be my Monogram Desk Agenda, and I've dressed her up a little bit. This is a bit of a strain. I know some of you all, I just hurt your eyes with the way that this is a bungee cord, and yeah, I know some of y'all, you're like, what? And I'm so pleased because I did put a spiral A5 in here. It's a surprise. I'm gonna tell you what that's all about. I did say at the beginning of the year that I was going to go back into a happy planner. This is one of their Dune, Dune denim planners, and I already know what I'm going to use this for. Super excited about it. Next, we have my project planner. We're going strong with the Ivy Lee method with using the year overview. The monthly overview is on the chopping block, and I will confess, I have not been very good at tracking my books, but we're going to flip through that. And I am in an HP Classic size for this planner. New for this year, I think that I'm going to work on my teaching and campus stuff in this Happy Planner big size planner. The only major planner company that sells a big size or letter size. So this is an A4. US letter and international A4 are a little bit different. They're similar, but this is an 11 disc planner, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. Of course, I do have my commonplace notebook, which I've been using happily since April. I'm just going to keep trucking with this as my commonplace. Anytime I need a notebook, anytime I need space in order to plot, plan, dream, and scheme, this photo slide notebook, I know that a lot of y'all were not into it that much in January. I have really been into it. And as you can see, I am doing an amazing job keeping up with everything, and may it continue. Let's see. Yep, that's that stack. So let me put everything back like it was. Then on the fence, so I'm definitely using things in these three piles. On the fence, I am actually thinking about selling my yeah, I'm actually thinking about selling this, and I'll talk a little bit about it. Not at length. I think I'm going to do a keep or sell video because I do have something else coming, and I just don't know that the size is practical for me. I know I went Murakami wild earlier this year, and I'm thinking, am I going to use this? So we will talk a little bit more about this in due course. Sorry, I think I turned my camera. And then finally, I have another LV Imprint, I think that's what it's called, Torn Leather Emily notebook. And I want to use this for my personal curriculum because I find myself loving the size. So, all right, I think that is everything. Let's get right into it and delve more deeply into each of these. Okay. I want to begin my quick mid-year tour with the notebook that I'm in the most. That is the Cloth and Paper A5 Slim Leather Traveler's Notebook. I did get this on release day, the day everything sold out. They had, I think, three colors. There was a bright, beautiful yellow. I can't remember what the name of it was. I did get I can't remember if this was Madrid or Bordeaux. I feel as if Cloth and Paper has their own in-house color name, Madrid, and then they do call things Bordeaux that are sort of this burgundy wine color. I absolutely love it, and anything that they put down, I will pick up in this colorway. I did pair it with one of the first clips that I remember purchasing when I first discovered Cloth and Paper in July 2024. The only reason that I am talking to you now about planning and stationery and all these different companies is because Happy Planner decided to discontinue their Work Plus Life line, and I was in an HP Classic and I wanted to find professional inserts for HP Classic size. Many of the small planner companies don't mess with HP Classic because it does cost more money to produce, more paper. Cloth and Paper did, and the rest is history. So I found them as well as Jane's Agenda on a web search, and I am nothing if not loyal. I am a typical August born Leo. If I like you, I'm going to roll with you to the very end. Therefore, here is my traveler notebook. Of course, I don't know if it's traveler or travelers. I know there's the Traveler Company. I know that there are travelers, apostrophe S, notebooks. So anyway, you can decide your preferred designation. This is an A5 Slim. I absolutely love this size. I think for me, this is a small notebook because small, my hands. I know you're like, this lit girl is obsessed with her hands. I did pair this with a number of other charms. The only charm out of the 3 charm set we received in the May intention box from Cloth and Paper was this silver Forma charm. I really like that. I decided I wanted to get some other frills that were more my style. I do have this Starbucks cup. I had my mother, who's a jewelry maker, put a lobster clasp on. Sort of this is a costume jewelry piece. I can't remember when or where I got this from. I just thought that this flower was really pretty and pops against the Bordeaux. It's sort of a mauve kind of pink. It's not, I see the undertones, not really a pink girl. I have the Once Upon a Time book charm as well as a rose. Ever since the Archer and Olive Valentine's box with the Beauty and the Beast theme, I have really been super into thinking about, the Disney Beauty and the Beast or the traditional story in the rose. I'm a children's literature scholar. I'm an expert in fantasy and the fantastic, particularly multicultural fantasy, fantastic folklore. So this really is me. Inside, I kept the deco simple. I have a couple of other things coming for it, but I do have this Michael Jackson magnet. It's from the Rose Shadow collection. Shout out, she has lovely things. I thought that paired really nicely with the now playing personal record. Eventually, I'll replace this with a cover of my favorite albums, favorite CDs. I am a huge music aficionado. There are many deeply personal things in here for me. Here's what I'm using the 3 sections for. At first, I thought, oh, I'm going to use this as a personal curriculum, but I decided not to do that because, as you can see, I put my name here, and did I? No, I don't have anything on there. I did put some family genealogy here, some voice pass notes from my yeah, so like some voice pass notes from my YA fantasy novel I'm working on. These are the names of my actual relatives. This is my grandmother, great grandmother, and great grandfather. We were talking with elders at the family reunion recently, trying to figure out who was related to, whom. So this is, I am doing or helping a little bit with the family genealogy. The next section I have is going to be just for books that I want to read. In my day job, I'm an academic and I moonlight as someone who is really, really into children's and young adult books and comics and graphic novels. And so here are a few award-winning authors whose books I had not read before the American Library Association's Youth Media Awards. I did go this past spring. One of my friends won one of the largest awards in children's literature, and I was fortunate enough to be a guest at one of her tables. So got a chance to meet a lot of people, and so I'm going to use so there's a graph section I'm going to use just for my voice pass and for family stuff. The line section I'm going to use for my book list, and then this sort of blank section, I am working on my follow-up to my academic book which was called The Dark Fantastic. I want to write a book about being descended from Black Floridians. Often people think about the Sunshine State as a place where that's completely divorced from the US South. Florida really is its own place, but it also very much is implicated in a lot of stuff that is, truly American, the good, the bad, and the ugly. That's all I'll say on this channel. So this is a tentative title for that book. I want to call it American Atlantis, for reasons I'll get into. And I'm thinking I can do some brainstorming and mind mapping using the blank paper. Super love this. I have carried this on a few trips. So the stuff in the beginning you saw was from my family reunion, which was recent. The stuff in the middle is from my trip to Chicago for American Library Association. And then at the end, I'm planning on going back to Florida to get some research done. So I love this. I love the charms. I just smile every time I see this book. It's very me. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about the pen here. I don't want this video to be super long. I think only about 3 of these I'm actively in this summer. Summer is my chill time. It's important to know how to rest. This is the Retro 51 Harriet Tubman pen. I actually got this from Levenger, and then I became familiar with the Retro 51 site. It feels amazing in one's hand. I think some are still available. There was a Frederick Douglass pen, but those are all gone. You cannot get that anymore. If you look carefully, you can see it's much more clear in person. The daguerreotype of Harriet Tubman that you may remember from your history textbook, you can really see it there. And then the motif they chose is the patterned motif present in Harriet Tubman's scarf. So recently we've had a whole bonnet discourse in Black social media about whether or not people should go to class with bonnets on. And someone said, made a joke about like Harriet Tubman liberated hundreds of people wearing her bonnet. So why can't we? So something like that. But anyway, I just love having Mother Harriet in on the side of a book that, I'm going to be making that means so much for me. I just absolutely love every single part of this setup. So yeah, this is my first A5 TN. I'm trying to get a good shot. And so one thing about the A5 TNs, you got to be careful if you have a lot of charms, because the charms will go to the side of the band that you don't want them to go on. So there's a bit of an art here to make it look good. But when you throw it in your purse, often everything goes to the side and it's like, stored in my purse like this. But, this just makes me happy, and I know I'm going to get lots of enjoyment and use out of this book. So, highly recommended. All right. The next notebook in my planner stack is my commonplace notebook. I have decided to use the photo slide cover that every single person who has been subscribing to the Cloth and Paper Intention Box in 2026 knows. I've decided to pair the photo slide cover with an HP Classic Perfect Bound Executive Notes book. Let me see if I can show you what it looks like on the outside without showing you all my business, because, honey, I'm in this book and I'm also, let me show you which one it is. See, I always get ambitious on camera and it's not good. So, because this has been, okay, so this is the one you want to get. It is the Cloth and Paper Executive Notebook. I decided to get it and I'm so glad I did. I could have taken my notes over the weekly setup. They had almost a reverse Ivy Lee sort of setup, where, an Ivy Lee, you get your notes on the bottom and then you get your weekly, your vertical weekly stuff. No, wrong. What they gave us were the vertical weekly, Monday through Sunday, were at the top 2/3 of the page. And then you have notes on the bottom. An Ivy Lee is sort of the reverse of that. You get lots of notes on the top, or space for notes on the top. And then you have your 6 tasks that you do each day of the week or weekday, however you decide to use it. So I love executive notes. That's only something I discovered using the Pocket Plus. We received, I believe, a Pocket Plus setup box way back in April last year. And ever since then, I'm generally not in small planners, but in a pinch, I do like having my Pocket Agenda or my Pocket Plus notebooks in there if I don't have any other paper or notebook available. And for this has just been great. I mean, you open it up, it's substantial, it writes like a dream. Everybody knows about the quality of their paper. And I find it really satisfying to circle the day, the month, and the date. I don't know why. Just no one knows. It's like I would need to sit in a therapist chair. Like, those circles are fun. And then I could just write the subject. To be honest with you, I have been using this so much more than my meeting notes inserts. I have been using meeting notes inserts for all of, half of 2024, all of 2025, and up until I put this setup together. Of course, I have been collecting the photo slide cards alongside every other cloth and paper subscriber. Absolutely love them. I did get 2 boxes a couple of times. So, as you can see, I have the January through May slides, what stays, what replays, what connects, what unfolds, and what returns. And I also I bought some stuff during the Common Thread sale, including the Common Thread dashboard and one of the woven leather notebooks or folio covers. It kind of reminded me of Bottega Veneta stuff, the woven. It's really nice. I only regret getting the blue. I love blue. That particular blue, it's very specific, and anyway, I'll talk about that at some other point. I did get 2 boxes in April and in May, which is why I have 2 of the now playing personal record books. I only have gotten one box in June and July. And then, of course, I'll get the August and September. I think what I'll probably do is take what unfolds and what returns and use them as deco. So then I would move these 2 would go up here, and then I would have 4 more slots for August, September, October, November. And I know we'll get December, but I'll just decide how I'm going to do it. I just love this sort of pop. And it's a more neutral pop than I would have, but I absolutely love this. I'm telling you, I'm in this notebook, and I see no reason why not just to carry this into the fall and make this my primary notebook that I carry into meetings. I wanted to zoom out to show you where my project planner has gone over the past few months. If you recall, I had this in one of the cloth and paper lizard folios. Good people, I decided I was going to change things up for the summer. So I have a complete beach theme. There's desert tortoiseshell discs from cloth and paper. I have a torn magazine paper clip, magnetic paper clip, and smoke salt from cloth and paper. And I have a cream, I think this is the shell color, shell vegan leather snap in HP Classic cover. This was actually free from the June 2026 Deluxe Lifestyle box, and I can't wait to show you what was in here. Summer Fridays forever, out of office. Let's zoom in a little bit. I'm having some camera trouble, and as always, it's late here, so goodness knows what's going on. We got this journaling card. She gives us stuff, like thank you for being a subscriber. And I just think this was one of their best boxes this year, if not the best 2026 box from Jane so far. We have this out of office dashboard. This is from Levenger, so that's not her. And it's an out of office vellum. And we turn it, and you have the beach or poolside, not the beach. A hat, glasses, and you are poolside. And this is my whole mood changed seeing this. As always, I do have one of her, just like in my Discbound Workhorse, I have the 2026 Year at a Glance, and I really like this setup. Let me take it off center stage because I really am not using AI to film, but I think it's trying to anticipate where I want to go. Don't anticipate me, computer. All right, so that is over sort of this van life surf scene. And it just, my whole mood changed seeing this. Of course, and then on the back of this, we have a little seagull. This was meant to be the front and back cover for this particular sub box. And then we went right into the project planner. And I can show you, I'm still, if you follow my content or if you see me post in the groups, the people, nothing has changed. So I did January, February, March. I was in that. I've done a whole video on the Ivy League method. That was the first quarter of this year. Second quarter, I'm just be honest with you. Spring, April, May, June can be questionable. June, I just don't have any excuse, but I had stuff in for April and May. And then this is my July, August, September. So I have been working on stuff over the summer because that is just chair life. And then we have a final quarter. I love the year overview inserts, and I'm not sure, I know I am sure for 2027 I will be in this again. It's been a wonderful system. That said, I have to be honest with you, I didn't really use the monthly admin after January, so I don't know that this is going to remain something I will use. So I went from January to July, and it's July 31st, almost midnight, so it's almost August, my birthday month, and you see I went from January to July, never filled this out. So really, I'm going straight from the year overview and the quarterlies all the way over to the weekly Ivy League planning. So let me just go in. Some of this is going to look familiar because I have been doing Ivy League, and here is where I need to go for August. So, I kind of banded everything because y'all don't need to see everything, right? But I think this is such a great system, especially if you choose to commit to it. Again, this is one of the smoked salt HP Classic page markers, or it's really a bookmark. The one area, so I actually have plenty of Ivy League paper left. I'm trying to think. The deco I changed a little bit. You may remember from my earlier flip through that I used, I had more wintry deco. This is more summer, and some of these I believe were from last year's similar summer beach poolside box. This is from Cloth and Paper, the shared memory card. Then I do have some of my, sort of burgundy mauve, dusty pink kind of stuff I have all over my planners. And, this is a good place to put Jane's cards. I have not used the task planner or the task tracker. I might try it this fall. Let me show you more clearly now that we're getting into something I haven't talked about much. Okay, so this is the task planner insert. This is Cloth and Paper, filling it out, where you sort out your tasks so that they're either high priority, medium priority, or low priority. The challenges in education, everything, everywhere, all at once, Shout out to Michelle Yeoh. I'm such a huge fan of hers. Anyway, I think that you would need to have a different kind of workflow than most academics do. Some do, but those of us who came out of K-12 environments, we pretty much, are triaging constantly. I think it's the educational equivalent of working in an ER. Like, you're constantly, whatever is highest priority is whatever comes in that has to be worked on right away. So I feel like, shout out to everybody who works in emergency medicine. That is literally life and death. We are dealing with humans in education. And so you could have your plan for a high priority task, but someone's healthcare wasn't coded correctly in the university systems, and they are due in a week. And you need to figure out how to get them healthcare. Well, that becomes your highest priority right away. So one of the things I could do is I could do some retrospective planning and memory keeping just to, get some data on how I plan out my days and weeks. So let me know in the comments if you use the task tracker. Oops, I am just flipping through stuff too quickly. The books area is more of a bust. I just never actually listed everything that I said I was going to list in here with my reading log. I have been reading. I have. But I would maybe I just need to keep this in here as an aspirational section for when I'm on fellowship. But most of the time I'm reading, and then I really don't have the time with all my other journaling to keep much in here. But yeah, that's a good idea. And then I do have this is just notes. These are notes I took when I was at the Detroit Planner Association, which I'll talk about in a minute. This is note paper from Happy Planner back when I was in their now defunct Work Plus Life planner, which I really did like. I have some colored paper. I'm pretty sure I got it off Amazon. And these were from my spring theme, which you remember was blue and pink. And just some ephemera. It's not really deco, because it's not, really strategic. I thought maybe I would use these stamp stickers for something, but I'll probably change that out. She gave us a card. Jane gave us a card that said on vacay. I thought that was cute. And then there are a few other cards. This is an older cloth and paper card. I love they didn't see it coming. She planned it that way from Jane. I used to say when I was in graduate school that I loved being underestimated because they'd never see me coming. That was fine when I was in my late 20s and early 30s. Now it pisses me off when I'm underestimated. In my other life, I have a Wikipedia page, like not saying that that makes you important because anyone could have one, but anyway, I love this. You fought to be in the sun, don't hide in the shade. It's a nice reminder as a Leo. We tend to be very, like out there where, and sometimes I do want to hide. And this is a good reminder. Vacation loading. It's exiting in just a couple of weeks. I have one more trip and then back to life, back to reality. And these were more dashboards from that Jane's Agenda June box. I thought that was a really good box. You have these umbrellas that are crocheted macrame. I mean, do they really shade the sun? They're just beautiful though. Just a beautiful picture. Oops. Now you got like one of my, that's not very elegant. I was probably taking down my braids and something, So anyway, that is that. I love it. As always, this is getting longer than I thought. It's time to hydrate again. Great. And now I can show you what I'm going to do for this woman's work planner for the fall of 2026. Let's get into it. So I am in my Louis Vuitton Monogram Desk Agenda. So this is something that I purchased after I absolutely fell in love with the Louis Vuitton Damier Ebene Desk Agenda that you've seen me use so often. I got this almost a year ago, and I really wasn't using it because I kept using the Damier Ebene. I just really think that deep chocolate works so well with red accents, and that's really my work vibes. Also, you'll see these sunglasses everywhere. You can get them at Etsy, at Amazon, at many planner shops, online. So these are just glasses, paper clips. So if you like them, I have them across a few of my different planners, and you get 4 in a set. Get the ones where you can get 4 in a set. I think it's something like $15. So I think they're just really cool deco because so many of us do wear glasses. All right, the one thing I wouldn't recommend if you're going to want to sell your desk agenda is these bands. This just came from Amazon. I have been looking high and low for decent planner bands like this, and they used to be abundant, and now they're more and more and more difficult to find. So I just really have this to close the book since there's no clasp, and I have this in a few of the planner bands you'll see because I'm using them as my deco. Okay, so we have that going on. And I don't know where this came from. Oh, I know where that came from. I'll get that where it needs to go later. All right, so here is what I am doing for this woman's work planner for the fall. And here you go. So, yes, this is a little different than something that is more polished and quote unquote professional. And I think it's okay. So, this is the interior. I have a few deco items I can talk about. The first, let me move. I love these Ollie clips. This is the gift that keeps on giving. I wish that Ollie Block would make these in other colorways. Okay, so Infinite Lotus, I had this in one of my 2025 planners, and I just love the rose petal look. I mean, this is just so pretty. What I may do is I may cut you can see it's been well loved over the past year and a half. I may use my paper cutter and just laminate it so that it can slide in like so. So, oops, I'm getting a cord that you shouldn't see. All right, so I'll probably do that sometime in August. All right, the next item I have is a card from the Planner Press. Clear your desk, tie your hair up, grab a coffee, and just start. Word. What great advice that is. And I love seeing that when I first open up my planner, it does give me motivation. I believe this is from the Rosie Planner Co. I would need to look it up because I did purchase this almost a year ago. It was meant to be the cover of an A5 Slim travel notebook, and I ended up laminating it and using it as deco because originally I had my 365 commonplace notebook. It was an A5 perfect bound we got in a sub box. I think it was May 2025, so a little over a year ago. So I decided that I was going to just use this as deco, and I have a laminator downstairs, and so the laminator means that this will be preserved. And it was so much easier than trying to build up a whole bunch of stickers or badges or something like that. Just so much more durable. Just because I can, I still have the trunks, the LV trunks, because my lovely client advisor, she just gave me a bunch of wrapping. I was hoping to get the Murakami wrapping, and I think she felt badly because I live in Michigan. I'm not in New York, Chicago, LA, Houston, Atlanta, Miami. No, I am in Metro Detroit, Michigan. So, and that meant that we did not get the same kind of wrapping. So she just had a lot of these trunks, and they're pretty, pretty durable. This is for the ribbon to pass through. I'll think about a way to kind of dress this up and kind of make it something I can put in the planner more permanently, but I really do like that. That's cool. And it was free, free compared to how much you pay for the agendas there. And then finally, my last item of deco in the front cover is the Detroit Planner Association's first anniversary. So, good people, there are planning and journaling and crafting groups all over the world and all over the United States and Canada if you happen to be here. We didn't have one, so two lovely people in Detroit, Starlet and Chiquita, they started it for us, and now you have 20 to 25 plus women once a month who get together with our planners and our journals and our scrapbooks, and those girls, I mean, their style won't wait. Shout out to Starlet, shout out to the QB Project. You should watch her here on YouTube. I want her to post more. Her videos are what's up. So shout out. And this is they even had gifts for us, like at the first anniversary in May 2026 gathering. You can check them out on Instagram. All right, let's put this back together. That's my front cover, at least for now. At least the inside front deco. Let's talk about the front cover of my cloth and paper academic A5 spiral planner. I decided to get it. I mean, I was, I thought long and hard, but then I thought, you know what? Let's go ahead and try it. So, first impressions, I really didn't like the cover. The cover was very industrial looking. It did not match the vibes over here. And so what I did was I had a sticker sheet from Aesthetic Paper Co. They're down in Australia. I bought stuff, I think 2 years ago from her. I really like her stuff. She has gorgeous sticker sheets. This is one of her bibliophile. You can get women with different looks, different ethnicities. So this is a brown girl reading, I'm going with brown girl dreaming, but it's a black girl reading. And so I love a good black bibliophile theme. So Aesthetic Paper Co. I took the whole sticker sheet and I secured it with 2 pieces of washi from my Archer and Olive Kit Club. So I cannot remember the month because often when I get my Archer and Olive Kit Club stuff, I am flying. That's how busy I am at work. And so the Kit Club washi, this was the best for this. So I really like this as a start to the school year planner because this is what I need to be doing instead of being on social media. And even this part is a vibe. You can kind of see it through the frosted. I really don't love the industrial. I like the simple, not so much the industrial. I'm a late Gen X, Xennial, and this just reminds me of like when we were doing dot matrix computers. And I think that was the idea from the design team, who generally is pretty good, more minimal than they do more minimalism than is natural for my style. And the nice thing is you can always dress it up. Yeah. I have this planner belongs to. I filled that out with my personal information. So we are going to scroll and pass right on by. You do have your year at a glance, holidays, observances. And I saved, okay, I went by that really fast. Ooh, take a picture if you need. Screenshot. Okay, moving right along. Yeah, so I need to put some stickers up here because these are, if you might recall, the inserts that we received during, I want to say in the November 2025 sub box. So, and I had already attached the tabs, the monthly tabs. And so when I gave away my weekly agenda, 2026, January through December 2026 agenda to someone earlier this year, I kept my dividers because they can always get dividers of their choosing. So I almost bought some dividers and then I said, wait a minute, I already have some. I need to see whether or not this is going to work for me, even beyond just putting a sticker on. I really don't know that I like the formatting. I just, it's very, very industrial. Yeah. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. I've already started a little bit on August. It is, like I said, the evening or the night now of July 31st. We got, just a little while until my birthday month comes. And so I've just begun to put a couple of things. You get priorities, goals, expenses, notes, days. This is a little different than the existing horizontal weekly. Nothing beats a fail but a try. So I decided I would try this out. And then I've already done my monthly. I always feel like I'm just decorating and being redundant on monthly spreads. The real news for me is always, I think, in weeks. I don't know if it's because I'm a lifelong educator or, adult lifelong educator. Yeah, I actually put my age here. I know that's not coof, but I'm so excited about my golden birthday next year. So I know that people are talking about your golden birthday is the year you turn the age that of your birthday. And I'm like, baby, my golden birthday would have been when I was 11. So no, your golden birthday is the equivalent of your golden anniversary. Get to 50. So I am super excited. I'm doing so much stuff next summer. But this year I'm going to do a massage and some dinner. Came back from the reunion, traveling to the Poconos for a women writers retreat. I'm excited about that. And then as soon as I get back, I need to put an all-day conference I need to get to. That's just a matter arising. I had the form tells your story sticker sheet, and you're supposed to peel off all 4 stickers, but if you do, you lose sort of the writing, and I didn't like that. Again, they're more artistic than I am. I'm a writer. I like and understand some art, but this, I also probably have kind of mild OCD. Like my sister was like, diagnosed, she told me, she was like, you probably do. But anyway, I had to keep it together. Orientations on the 27th for us, and this is when I teach my first class. So yeah, we get to notes pages. I am a student of planning with Bumble from like 5 years ago when I was first learning how to plan, more than 5 years ago now. And I know I need to turn this into my currently pages, and my brain is just generally fresh out. See, if there were no social media, I probably would be able to. I'm going to try to do better. And then we have our horizontal weeklies set up. We'll start with August 3rd. Do I have horizontal weeklies already in my collection for August through December? I do. Do I want to try out this format just to make sure that the spiral absolutely is not for me? Yeah, I do. Here is another reason why I want to try out the spiral, and I'm going to get to the back cover deco in a second. So often, whenever I use my half letter or any other disc-bound planner, and probably will be the same with rings, maybe not, I find that sometimes I leave parts of my fancy planners behind at work, because where I work, being on campus inherently, you're moving from room to room. So you go from conference rooms to the classroom to your office to, you're moving locations. And so I thought that having just something that was a double coil A5 planner available to me, and that was what I was using on campus, along with, let me pull it back out, this for my meeting notes. I'm going to just try to begin the fall with this setup and just see what happens. Okay. Now, I did want to show you my back cover deco. I'm super duper proud of this. I'm very proud. Okay. So, the only thing about it is I really wish that more planner companies sold. I just wish I could have like a crystal clear cover set or a frosted cover set to protect my back cover deco. Anyway, let me tell you where I got this from. This is, let me zoom out because I think you're not going to be able to see it well. Okay, so the back cover vibes are courtesy of Planners Anonymous. I saw when I was just going 2 years ago, when I was just getting all this planner stuff and moving beyond Happy Planner. I found this company, and they do entire themed boxes with a character. And when I saw a young Black woman out in the woods camping and relaxing, looking completely at peace and rest and living her life wearing glasses like I have since I was just 4 years old, I just was so charmed. I even filmed a video, and I didn't even have a channel yet. I have to dig up that old video because although you really couldn't purchase this box anymore because I'm sure people snatched it up. So, it was all about camping and adventures in, the woods. And I think it was, oh, I don't think it was a spring or summer box for them. I normally don't, it's the only thing I've ever purchased from them, but I got like everything from them. Let me see if I can find, excuse the rustling. So this is all the stuff you got with it. Not all who wander are lost. We're just finding our own way. And it came with this pouch. You got an entire, yeah, I'll just have to do a video because, yeah, you got so much stuff with this. You even got like little papers and, yeah, this is why I need to retire well. So yeah, okay, this was June 2024 and it was called A Moment of Quiet Reflection. And I absolutely loved this. Shout out, I really, maybe I should go back and see what they're doing over at that company. But I thought it was just so cool. So I decided to just dig that back out since I never used it. And I kept saying I'm going to use it for a rainy day. But I thought, okay, it, August and September and even October are still fall vibes in a lot of places around the country, including up here. You can camp up here in Michigan. Some Michiganders even camp in the winter. But, I thought that I would get Aretha. I guess that's the name of the girl, the character. I have my August journaling card. I have another one of these. I have a lot of these glasses, clips, and then I have 4 journaling cards just for full effect. You have sort of a collage with all the fun stuff about camping in the woods. I need to tape this down or put this down. Then you have lily pad. It's like a watercolor. All right, come on, Monet. Claude Monet. You have a quiet reflection card. I want to put one of my reminders here, or maybe one of my journaling cards that is coming very, very soon. Oops, it's a little too high for this setup. Let me go down one. Okay. Look, see. Okay, yeah, there we go. And then finally, look at that. Do you see that? That is, there will be days I just need to pull out that card when I'm on campus and just exhale. And so, yeah, I really like this setup. And I'm probably going to end up laminating, using my little 3M tiny, it's almost like one of my portable, I have a portable paper cutter and I also have a laminator. So, yeah, that's how I'm going to start the year now. Um, Makes me happy. And the best thing is, I am trying to reduce a little bit of the weight that I put into my bags or my backpack. So, with this and this, plus my laptop, I think I'll be more than good. Planner besties, busy bees, thank you so much for being with us here at Stories and Stationery. This video is getting a little long, so I think what I'm going to do is cut things. Next time, I want to talk a little bit about the planners that I am for sure using during the second half of 2026 and some of the planners that are on the chopping block. Thanks so much for watching and spending a little time with me. See you in the next one. Bye.